A lot of people were asking me last week because they said, hey, before UFC 204, didn't Michael Bisping crash his coach's interview and say that if he wins, he's going to show up on your show the Monday after and do the celebratory interview? A lot of people said, where is Michael Bisping? Well, he needed some space. We gave him space, always more than gracious with his time, but we had to get him on to talk about what the heck happened in Manchester. So here he is, the reigning and now defending UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping, joining us on the phone. Always a man of his word. Michael, how are you?
Very, very well, sir. Always a pleasure to talk to you. What the hell happened at 204? I defended my belt. I was true to my word. I won that fight, plain and simple. All you haters can shut up. You don't know how to score a fight, because that was a clear victory for Michael the Count Bisping.
Yes. Now, have you watched the fight since, Michael?
Yes, I have.
How do you score it now that you've watched it on television?
Well, the first round I was in control, and then of course he landed that good shot and got some great ground and pound. So that round was a 10-9 for Hendo. Anyone that says a 10-8 are absolutely ridiculous, because for a 10-8 you've got to beat the guy from pillar to post for the entire 5 minutes, and he had a good 45 seconds in that round. Round two, I dominated, picked him apart. He dropped me with the right hand, but then that was it. I wasn't hurt, and then he didn't get any ground and pound off. So I'd say I still won that round. It was a 10-9. 3, 4, and 5, they rolled 10-9s to me as well. So really, there is no controversy. One judge scored it 49-46. I believe that judge was an American as well. So for anybody talking about hometown bias, they are ridiculous. Fact of the matter is, Hendo is a tough son of a bitch, tough as old boots. But I won that fight. Very simple.
Before they announced the judges' scorecards, did you truly believe, okay, this is in the bag, I don't have to worry, or were you nervous at all?
There's always a little intrepidation, because you never know until they say. Listen, he had a couple of big moments, and of course my face told a tale. But like my boxing coach said, like Perillo said, you don't win a 25-minute fight by winning 2 minutes of the fight. And that's essentially all he did. For the rest of the time, he was backing up. He was cowering almost. He almost turned his back on a couple of occasions when I had him hurt. So, just to reiterate that, you don't win a 25-minute fight by winning 2 minutes of the action. So yes, I was confident, but until Buffer actually says and still, you never know. You never know.
Did he feel like the same fighter in there than the one that you fought 7 years ago, or did he feel there? Like, was it the? I mean, obviously you felt the right hand and you were able to weather that storm amazingly. I mean, what heart once again that you show, especially this year. But overall, did it feel like you were fighting the same guy, or could you tell that he had slowed down a little bit, that his skills had changed?
Yeah, that's a good question to ask, and I'm not sure how to honestly answer that. The skills that I thought I had, the advantages that I thought I had in the second fight, I felt that I had those in the first fight, but I just, I was much calmer this time. I was planting my feet. I wasn't backing up. I wasn't bouncing all over the place. So the first fight, mentally, I didn't approach it correctly. The second fight, I did, obviously. He's still a dangerous guy, and he still proved that it has what it takes to go 5 rounds. Of course, he fought with a reserved gas tank. He kind of just waited back for his big moments. But, he's still got it, man. He's still a tough guy to beat. Of course, that was a big opportunity for him. So I'm assuming he applied himself massively in the gym. He wanted to go out with that belt. But yeah, listen, I'm happy with the victory. It would have been nice to stop him. Of course, that's what I was looking for. But it wasn't to be. But a victory is a victory, and I'm happy with it.
Obviously, you're in the heat of the moment, but was there ever a point after he landed, the right hand in the first or second, where you're like, not again, like I can't let this happen again? Are you ever having that inner monologue?
Yeah, sure, sometimes, because, even though the right hand was, it was a big shot, and it put me down, as we all saw, and he did a great job in following up that shot and, trying to finish the fight, and God bless him. I knew where I was at all times. At all times I had my faculties about me. I was fully compos mentis. And I knew what was going on. That's why at the end of the first round I went back and I kind of smiled to everyone and to my coaches, like, listen, it's okay. I know he got me and it doesn't look good, I've got a huge gash on my cheek from my elbow, but I fully knew where I was. As I said, I had all my faculties in. I knew where I was going into each and every round. But yeah, listen, I mean, that right hand, he's built a career on that. Certainly the latter part of his career has been built on that right hand. And I always said he has good timing with it, and he did. He timed it perfectly on a couple of occasions. Fortunately, it was only 2 shots really that he. It was only 2 shots that he really connected with the entire fight. So all credit to him. The H-bomb is a good shot, but I took it on the chin. I weathered the storm, and I won the fight, like I said.
By the end of the fight, how difficult was it for you to see out of your left eye, given the mouse that was developing there?
Yeah, no, it was pretty extreme, to be honest. All I could see out of the left eye was a tiny, tiny slit of vision.
Wow.
So, it was certainly very restricted. I had to, it was swollen, nearly shut.
You were very calm, cool, and collected. You were very confident going into this fight. And I recall thinking, I think after the weigh-ins, is it possible that, given where you are in Manchester, how much this means to you, your first title defense, given how old he is, that he said this is his retirement fight, is it possible that Michael Bisping is maybe taking Dan Henderson a little lightly? Is he looking past him? Did that ever happen? Do you think in hindsight that you did that a little bit?
No, never. I never underestimated opponents, and I said it in the octagon that night. I certainly wasn't underestimating this guy. This is a person that knocked me out cold in the past. And, that is a very, very real thing. It's a very real psychological, what's the best word to word this? It's a very psychological trauma to get through. You relive that. And, the day of the fight, I'm in my room, I'm taking a nap, and all these negative thoughts, these inner demons that all fighters have, were running through my mind.
Wow.
And I had them throughout the entire training camp. So, no, never for 1 minute did I underestimate this guy. As I said, this is a person that's truly capable of ending a fight with one punch. A lot of people don't have that. And I knew he still had the timing and things like that. Yes, he slowed down a little bit, for sure. You can't deny that. But that right hand is real. And going into that fight in my hometown, you want to be victorious, and I don't want to lose my belt on the first shot, certainly against somebody that knocked me out before. So, no, I never underestimate an opponent. That's why I always train so hard. That's why I'm always in such good shape, because the moment you underestimate an opponent, that's the beginning of the end, and the writing is on the wall.
Do you truly feel now as though those demons that were born at UFC 100, are they dead? Do they not consume your soul? This victory, was it enough to completely erase that experience?
Yeah, for sure. I know what you're getting at, really, in a roundabout way, because, there's people out there saying that, Hendo was robbed and this and that, but Hendo has a lot of hardcore fans, and hardcore fans don't watch the fight impartially. The professional judges that are paid to judge fights, they scored it correctly. It wasn't a split decision. It was a unanimous on all fronts. These people, listen, Hendo's been around a long time. He's a national treasure, if you will. And he has a lot of fans, and they're looking at the fight completely impartially. It's hard for them to be objective. Just like some other people in the UFC, like Chris Weidman, people like that. They don't look at it from a fair perspective. They want me to lose, and they want Hendo to win. So it's impossible for them to give an honest, unbiased opinion on the judging of the fight. So, yes, I won the fight. I got my revenge. It would have been nice to finish him, but I took his best shots, and I came walking right back. I didn't take a backward step in that fight. I stayed in his face. I pressured him. I punched him. I kicked him. I beat him to the punch every time. 2 shots. 2 shots is all he landed. He can say what he wants after that fight, saying, he was robbed and this and that. But, the story of the fight is that he was backing up the whole time, getting picked apart, and he landed 2 good shots. And it is impossible to deny with the statement that I just said. He backed up the whole time. I picked him apart, and he landed 2 good shots in the 25-minute fight. That is the story of the fight. That's exactly what happened. The only thing that he did better was that he dropped me. I didn't drop him, unfortunately. But I wanted to, but I didn't. But still, points tally up.
Yep. Physically, 9 days later, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. I just came out of the gym, actually.
Oh.
I just got back in the country Wednesday night. Caught up with the kids, hung out at home, and then this morning, start of a new week. So time to get back to business. Just went in the gym there. Just had a light workout, nothing crazy. Just get the body moving again. Physically, yeah, I feel fine. I've had the stitches out. My face is almost back to being as ugly as it ever was. So, yeah, you can still see a bit of a black eye, but a couple more days that will be gone. I've got an MRI on my knee. I'm limping a little bit on my left leg, but I always have trouble with my left knee. So, but yeah, a few more days, and I'll be back to full speed.
Now that you've achieved this goal of defending your title in Manchester, where do you rank this experience? Was that the greatest night of your career? Is winning the belt a little higher? Where do you put it?
Yeah, well, winning the belt was fantastic. It really was. But to do it in Manchester, winning the belt again, defending the belt, I think that was that tops it. That was the highlight of my career. Prior to that, probably beating Anderson in London.
Wow. Now
defending the belt in Manchester, that was probably, yeah, for sure, that was the highlight. I mean, it was amazing. The crowd were absolutely exceptional. The fight happened at 5:30 a.m. and the energy that everybody in attendance showed was just amazing. The crowd were absolutely deafening. At one point, it was amazing. They were all chanting my name and this and that. And I felt like turning around to the guy, guys, just shut up a second. I'm trying to focus here a little bit. I can't hear myself think, let alone fight. So it was absolutely incredible. Thanks to everybody that showed so much energy. Thanks to Henderson. It was a great fight. Everybody enjoyed it. And, yeah, a legendary night for me.
It was very nice to see how heartfelt you were afterwards. Like, you were sincerely thanking everyone for it. And it's not something that we often see, that you could truly tell how much this meant to you. I do believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, your family wasn't there, right? Your wife wasn't there. Your kids weren't there. Did you miss not having them there?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the children are in school, so they
can miss school, Mike. Come on, what's so important now in school? They got clowns attacking them.
You want to hear a funny story?
I do.
Calum. Yeah, Calum was. I kind of felt bad. He's my number one fan, my 15-year-old son, and he cornered me for tallylitis, and I was let down. I didn't have a fourth cornerman. I mean, I had guys that could have done it, but they're all there with wives, and my brothers are with people. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to fly Calum out here last minute, and he can be in my corner. So I called my wife up and I said, hey. This was on Thursday. I said, let's fly Calum out. He can be in my corner. I said, he'll love it. He'll never forget it. And she said, yeah, it's his homecoming dance on Saturday. And he's got a girl that he's been flirting with for a while. Oh. So he blew me off.
What?
My own son blew me off because he's a 15-year-old man full of testosterone, and the little guy rules the big guy.
Did you tell him afterwards? I'm wondering if you told him your plan and what he would have chosen had he had...
I did. I spoke to him afterwards, and he didn't deny. What did he say now? I can't remember. But yeah, listen, God bless him. He's 15 years old. This girl that he likes, he's been chasing her for a long, long time. So we went to the homecoming dance.
Wow.
And that's it. My wife just walked up now. She's doing the signal across her neck, going, shut up. He's gonna kill me when he hears it back later. But yeah, there you go. He didn't want to be in my corner. I'll throw you under a bus on the MMA Hour.
Well, listen, I don't blame him. I'm sure she was a very good-looking and a very pleasant young lady. But here's the question.
She's a sweet girl.
If it happened on Saturday, does that mean he actually missed your fight?
He missed. No, yeah, that's right. He was out. He didn't even watch the fight. He watched it on tape. Can you believe this?
Okay, I love Calum, but to me, one of the great storylines of 2016 is the budding feud between you and Lucas, him picking against you. I thought it would have been interesting had you brought out Lucas to corner you. I know he can't fly alone, but that's the guy I want to see in the corner as well.
I know, the little son of a gun. He's quite the character. Of course, he knows what he's doing. He likes to play it up. But I came back this time and I said, what did I say? Because obviously, 6 years old, he doesn't know the ramifications of what he's saying.
Sure.
And I said, so Lucas, I said, I won. So you were wrong again. He said, it's okay, Daddy, because next time you're going to die. I'm like, okay, all right, thanks for that. I really appreciate the comment.
It is amazing.
Yeah, he's funny. He's awesome.
I kind of feel like you like hearing that he's picking against you because it's part of the routine now. It's almost good luck in a sense.
Yeah, no, it really is. I mean, listen, I get it. I know it's funny, and I know he's a little monkey. So when we have the cameras here doing embedded and things like that, I know what he's going to say. So it's me that asks him. People always comment and go, wow, it's crazy that he says that. How does that make you feel? He's like, I know he's going to say that. That's why I ask him, because it's funny, and he's got a great sense of humor. He's a little monkey, as I say. The apple does not fall far from the tree. It's all fun and games.
Family reality shows are kind of a thing of the past, but I got to say, given what we see from Embedded, I feel like with your son, adolescent, your youngest son, being the troublemaker that he is, your wife keeping it together, your daughter, adolescent, I feel like we've got a real story here. I feel like we've got a real show on our hands. Any talks of this in Hollywood?
Well, my wife just walked past taking a thumbs up. Yeah, at home with the Bisping.
Yes.
Coming your way pretty soon.
I like it. I'm going to work on that.
I'm kidding.
Fight pass.
You never know.
All right.
I think people are sick of seeing me on the UFC, let alone watching me just scratch my balls on the couch at home.
In a perfect world, when do you want to return?
Perfect world. Obviously, it's got to be one of the big contenders next. We'll see how the chips fall regarding their fight. I think I'd like Weidman, to be honest. If Weidman can get past Rockhold, that'd be a fight that interests me. And, it seems like me and Weidman have this rivalry now.
Yes.
I've got nothing against Weidman. He likes to talk shit on my career, and I'll do the same on his. But I wish him all the best, Competition aside, he seems like a good guy and a good dude. So, but we've been talking a lot, so I guess we've got to settle it in the octagon. So if he gets past Yoel Romero, which he's got his hands full there, but if he does, then I'll happily fight him next. I believe it's a good matchup for me. And I don't know, late February, March, something like that.
What's a bigger fight for you, Weidman 1 or Rockhold 3, in your opinion, from a business perspective?
Well, business-wise, nobody really cares about Luke Rockhold. Unfortunately, business-wise, nobody cares about Chris Weidman either. So I don't think either of them really make me that much money. Unfortunately, they're probably the best two guys in the division other than me. And nobody gives a shit about them. Nobody gives a damn. That's why Chris Weidman couldn't main event a pay-per-view. He was always the co-main event. But I'll just take on the best challenges. I know what people said about the Henderson fight, but the UFC came to me with the match if I didn't ask for it. So I said, yeah, sure. And now, I'm happy to take on whoever the true number one contender is. So we'll see who wins these fights, and whoever it is, I'll happily fight. I've never ducked a fight in my life. I'm not trying to sit here sounding like a tough guy. We've all heard this a million times, so I won't go into it. But whoever wins and is the worthiest opponent, then we'll do it.
Gegard Mousasi is gaining some momentum. He said he wasn't hurt that you didn't mention his name, but wants to be included in that discussion. Is he worthy of being included in that discussion or not yet?
Well, here's the thing. Mousasi is an incredible fighter. He really is. I like the guy. But, I just said that with the Rockhold and Weidman did terrible business. Jesus Christ. I think it would be astronomically bad business at the moment with Mousasi. So he just needs another win or two to really get people's attention. Unfortunately, it wasn't that long ago that idiot Uriah Hall got a fluke knockout against him. So that kind of hurt his stock. And Mousasi he's incredible. He really is. He's one of the best underrated fighters in the world. But he's struggled to sell a pay-per-view. He's on the right direction. He beat Vitor easily and impressively. I think another big name opponent or another one or two, and then certainly he'll be more of a household name. And I'll be happy to face him when the time comes. But I think right now he needs another tune-up fight.
Okay. And what about Brock Lesnar? What is going on here? I see you talking about what is happening here. Has he drawn your ire as well?
No, he hasn't. Well, I was doing a stupid podcast, and you don't listen. I just get carried away. I'm bored out of my mind doing a million interviews.
Yes.
I was doing that interview in the middle of like 50 back-to-back interviews, and you just start losing your mind. So you got to start saying something interesting. And I was doing. It was a podcast with Ric Flair, and Brock Lesnar tested positive to steroids. It's as simple as that. I have a very strong opinion. So if you're gonna come over here and fight and take steroids, you're a pussy. Simple as that. You just you come in here and act tough, but then you got to take steroids. So which is it? Are you a tough guy or are you not a tough guy? And if you're taking steroids, then you're not a tough guy because you're mentally weak and you're a coward. So I just said words to those effects. But I'm sure Brock Lesnar isn't giving a damn about me right now, what he says. So, all good, Ariel, but good job in trying to stir the pot.
No, I was just trying to clear the air, to be honest. You say stupid podcasts. I'm not sure to take that as an insult or not, but I know it's a little bit different when you come on the MMA Hour. You actually enjoy this interview.
100%, my friend. This is the creme de la creme.
Yes. All right. Well, again, congratulations. What a win. What a performance. To me,
thank you.
It has to be in the discussion for Fight of the Year, if you ask me. And if I'm being honest, I think Michael Bisping, as of right this moment, is on the leaderboard for Fighter of the Year. 2016, 3 wins. Anderson Silva winning the belt in June, and now this one. I think that's an arguable stance, right? Someone can make that stance.
Well, somebody from Fighters Only said to me that you're probably a good bet for Fighter of the Year.
Wow.
Fight of the Year, Upset of the Year, and then a contender for Knockout of the Year. So even to be nominated for those would be quite a feat. So I'm doing something right so far.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the time off. Again, congratulations, and once again, thank you very much for coming on the show. I'll leave you alone now for at least a few weeks. Appreciate
No. It's always a pleasure. I'll keep up the good work, my friend.
Okay.
And hopefully I'll see you in New York soon.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Michael. Congratulations.
Right. See you, buddy.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
there he is, Michael Bisping, the reigning defending UFC middleweight champion. Thank you very much to him.